call the meeting to order. If everybody would please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to open it up for general public comment. Is there anybody from the public wishing to come forward and speak? If so, the podium is to the right. Seeing none, we're going to close public comment. We're going to come back to our public hearing, and we're going to begin with the item 4A. Irene, I believe you're going to present.
Yes, I am. Good afternoon, good evening, Board of County Commissioners. Irene Settlemyer, Senior Planner with the Planning and Development Services Department. This agenda item is a public hearing on the Indrio and I-95 PTV, the Preliminary Development Plan. The public hearing was properly noticed. Okay. The public hearing was properly noticed. The advertisement was in the newspaper on Friday, June 28th. The signs are on numerous locations on the property. They were updated with today's date, and a mailer was sent to the 20 owners of property within 500 feet. I haven't received any questions or comments in response to that public notice. We're all familiar with the site, approximately 835 acres in the southeast quadrant of Indrio and Interstate 95. Close up of the property. It's been cleared mostly for agriculture for many years. So in November of 2020, the preliminary development plan for this property was approved. The preliminary development plan provided for a new town that provided a mix of residential uses, commercial uses, targeted industry, and civic uses. It provided a robust, compact, walkable street network and substantial amounts of open space and countryside. It provided locations for a public school and a fire station. The owner of this property has requested to modify the previously approved plan, and we had to process it as a new preliminary development plan. The key changes are as follows. That 36 acres of the site in the northwest corner, closest to the 95 and Indrio interchange, will be taken out of the planned town and held for future development. The residential development credits from those 36 acres will be transferred into the town that remains. A new school site is provided and a new fire station site is provided. They were moved from what was once south of Cobelgard Road, south of Indrio Road, approximately aligned with Cobelgard. Now they are proposed to be located over on Johnson Road. The plan otherwise provides for the same robust mix of uses, the compact walkable development form, lots of open space and countryside, and a flowway. So these are some of the numerical changes. 36 acres are taken out of the town, 165 dwelling units. It's reduced by 165 dwelling units, but the workforce housing units are increased by 390 units. The numerical changes with regard to non-residential uses, there's a decrease of about, there's the numbers, 1,088,000 square feet of total commercial, retail, targeted industry, et cetera, were provided for and allowed in 2020. And the proposal is to allow 960,000 square feet of commercial, commercial targeted industry, retail, et cetera. As you can see, that in 2020, the plan did provide for a 24 pump gas station. That's being removed from the planned town. There's a little more acreage being provided for the school site. In 2020, 18 acres were provided, now it's 18.3. The fire station had 2 acres, now it's 2.2 acres. And then this other civic sites that appears to subtract 19 acres. I was told that that's incorrect, that there was an error in the math on the 2020 plan. But basically, it's the same school site, fire station site. You may have heard at the plan that was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission provided for a 15-acre school site. And to the surprise of many, the school district's representative said, wait, that's not enough. We need 20 acres for a school site. And so the meeting ended with a promise for everyone to speak with each other and try to work it out. We have an email from the school district that supports the 18.3 acre site. The property owner has promised to handle the stormwater requirements from the site, from the school. But the details between the school district and the property owner, many details will have to be worked out during the final site plan stage. So here is what you can see. The blue is the school site on Johnston Road. On the left is what was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission. On the right is, you can see it's slightly enlarged. It went from 15 acres to 18.3 acres. Planning staff has put forward an option for everyone to consider that because that school site is, the enlarged school site butts right up against wetland buffers, and it requires an additional acre of oak pine, native hardwood forest to be removed. And maybe more importantly, the access to that site is less generous. It's more limited from the planned town and village, where if it were moved to the south of the proposed site, if it were moved south, there's more roads and alleys and sidewalks that would access the site, and there are no wetlands or native upland habitat. So perhaps in the resolution, if it's the board's opinion to adopt the resolution, we could provide that the approval of this preliminary development plan doesn't preclude consideration of alternative school sites, that we're providing for it here, but if it turns out that it's feasible to move it, then that would be, we would like to keep that flexibility in the plan. So the planning for this site is complicated. It was complicated. The planners did a lot of work. Some of the land is inside the urban services boundary. That has one set of rules under the TVC code, and a lot of the land is outside the urban services boundary. So it's subject to some different rules. And similarly, the transferable development value map. Most of the land was in that yellow area, and it's 1 dwelling unit an acre. But this property also has some land that's 5 dwelling units an acre, and some is 9 dwelling units an acre with regard to the transferable development value. So taking the 36 acres out of the town, that development credit is being transferred into the town, or keeps being retained by the town. So the staff recommendation is that the Board of County Commissioners approve the Indrio and I-95 PTV preliminary development plan as set forth in the draft resolution, and perhaps if the board so desires to include flexibility for consideration of alternative school sites. And that ends my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Kara Wood is here representing the applicant.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have questions for Irene?
No,
Or
ma'am.
do you want to wait? No? Okay. Does anybody want to see Kira's presentation? We've seen it. Do you want to see it again?
Then I'll take my chance. Conversation.
Go ahead.
So I want to start out by taking a line out of the background information, and it's not often that we have developers come to our community and essentially meet the criteria of such a development plan as a TVC. And in it, we see that this is a town including a mix of residential, commercial, and civic uses, as well as a flowing, substantial amounts of open space, countryside, a robust walkable internal street network located within the southeast quadrant of 95 of the turnpike. That's important in the TVCs. The roadway infrastructure is going to be important for the future, and we talked about that as to what we don't want to see us into the past. And that is PUD upon PUD upon PUD, all the gated communities dumping into an arterial and creating gridlock that we see in some other developments to the south of. And so I think it's important to recognize that when we have a developer come to and offers to do that. The land is substantially fallow citrus and farmland. Is there any discussion about what the future tree canopy is going to be? I know there'll be a site plan later, but I just want to recognize that there's substantially no landscaping in this entire 800 acres. There's some, not much, but we require those who have trees on their land to preserve as much as possible or to mitigate for certain things. But when you have nothing at all, is there a plan or a future of significant landscaping of native trees and plants for the future?
The amount of upland habitat that the applicant is preserving has allows them not to have to mitigate for any trees that are removed. But each residential lot is required to have trees based on the square footage of the lot. And the planned town village street standards require street trees along all of the streets. So the vision is like leafy residential neighborhoods. The sidewalks will be shaded by leafy trees.
And the reason I bring it up, for the public's purview, we see a lot of developments just come in, straight down, and not in unincorporated towns, but other cities around the state. They see that they come in, they scrape it all down to nothing, and then they start over. This will be a substantial opportunity to see a much better quality product in the end. I'm grateful for the approach to this, and I think it's important. I think it'll be the other part is the workforce housing, the significant workforce housing. This board and previous boards have made it a focal point that we need workforce housing. We need to be able to have housing for those that are in the hospitality industry, the airline industry, the pick one, the intermodal distribution, manufacturing, etc. And I think this is a substantial amount of workforce housing to be included. Did I see 300? And I don't have the.
The total workforce
390.
housing is
390.
563 units. That's 390 more than were approved in 2020.
So this is what I want to point out, because we know that we're under development pressure. But when you have a developer that comes here and focuses on the needs of this community for quality of life and a place to live, work, and play and learn, this is the type of quality product when you get that many workforce housing units in a plan such as this. I want to recognize that because we beat up on the developers all the time on things like this, and this is a voluntary situation. I just want to point that out.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, I wanted to just also point out what is, speaking about you asked about the tree canopy and habitat. So all along the western edge of the property, you can see that's the flowway. Doesn't seem like it's. And then, but with regard to tree canopy down in the southeast corner, there's 16 acres that is going to be established as native upland habitat.
Excellent. We appreciate it.
That's on top of littoral plantings and other treatments to support the flowway system.
And the flowway system will be able to be utilized by the residents and the public in that area. Again, greatly appreciated for that recognition.
Anybody else? Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anybody wishing to come forward to speak on this item? If there is, please come to the podium to my right. I apologize, we have our back to you. Anybody? We're going to close public comment. We're going to come back to the board.
Madam Chair, this is quasi judicial.
I was going to ask you that, Dan.
That's what it says on the agenda, so.
Okay, so I have spoke to staff, and I've spoke to staff with Bucky's Corporation. Commissioner Lee?
I spoke with staff and applicant and Bucky's.
Commissioner Zadowski?
Staff, Bucky's, the developer, and the developer planning.
I've also spoke to Kara too, and then I forgot about that. How do I forget about you? And Commissioner Fowler?
Staff, District Planning Group, Kara, Marcella, Gustavo Loomer, and the Bucky's representative.
Commissioner Bartz? The same. Okay. Okay, so we're back to us now that we've disclosed everything. So I'm open for more discussion. Again, thank you to the board for meeting tonight for this special meeting. It's important. Commissioner Zadowski, I don't need to wrap anything up because you did it for me. You did a fine job. And, No, I'm learning from you. So if nobody has any conversations, I entertain a motion.
I want to recognize you had asked for consideration in your opening statement. Can you reiterate what that statement is? Would you like to preserve for discussion after you move to the second?
Yes, that approval of this preliminary development plan does not preclude consideration of alternative school sites.
With that amendment to my motion, move to motion approval of this staff recommendation.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Madam Secretary, it was Commissioner Zadowski, Commissioner Lee with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Kara and Leslie for being here. Thank you, staff. Any other comments? Mr. Langy, do you want to close us out?
We have no announcements for today, so.
Okay, everybody, motion's adjourned. Have a great evening.